Part 2, Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, Mastering the Art of Dependence and Deception, Laws 11 to 20. As we move into the second movement of Greene's work, the focus shifts. The first 10 laws were about establishing a presence and guarding one's flank. Laws 11 through 20 are about shaping the environment. For the mature individual navigating the complexities of their 30s and 40s, these laws represent the transition from being a player to being a director. The Law of Indispensability, Law 11. To maintain one's independence, one must always be needed and wanted. Greene argues that the more you are relied upon, the more freedom you have. In a professional context, this isn't about hoarding information, that's a weak man's tactic, but about possessing a unique skill set or institutional memory that makes your removal more expensive than your salary. If you are dispensable, you are at the mercy of others' whims. The selective use of honesty, Law 12. Our Machiavelli is all over this one. This is one of the most provocative laws. It suggests using selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere move can cover a dozen dishonest ones. This is the Trojan Horse of social dynamics. By being vulnerable or generous in a visible, controlled way, you lower the defenses of those around you, allowing you to move undetected in more critical areas. Appealing to self-interest, Law 13. When asking for help, do not remind people of your past assistance or your needs. Instead, uncover something in your request that will benefit them. This is a masterclass in empathy, not emotional empathy, but strategic empathy. It requires stepping outside your own ego to see the world through the other person's lens of greed or ambition. The Spy and the Friend, Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. This law emphasizes the power of information. By asking indirect questions and letting others talk, you gather the intelligence needed to predict their future moves. Take care that it is not noticed that you are directing the conversation. In the modern world, this translates to active listening. The person who talks the least often learns the most. The Art of Absence, Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. This is the law of scarcity applied to the self. Too much circulation makes the price go down. If you are always available, always responding to texts instantly, and always present at every social function, your value plateaus. By withdrawing at the right moment, you force others to realize your value through the void you leave behind. The Art of Unpredictability, Law 17. Keep others in a state of suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. When your actions are not predictable, you keep people guessing. People can plan against and ultimately control a predictable person. Your unpredictability keeps the initiative in your hands. You will exhaust your opponents. They will waste time and energy trying to map and understand your moves, allowing you to act while they are distracted. When to use. Use this to intimidate competitors, gain the upper hand, or shake up a stagnant situation. But beware, excessive, chaotic unpredictability can make you seem unstable. The keywords of power, maturity, and strategy. For the 30 to 40-year-old man and woman, these laws should not be viewed as a license to be cruel, but as a toolkit for sophistication. At this stage of life, blunt force is rarely effective. Influence is moved through subtler channels. Key concepts for application. 1. Calculated scarcity. Managing your presence to maintain high perceived value. 2. Strategic empathy. Understanding the motivations of others to align them with your goals. 3. Information. Asymmetry. Knowing more than you reveal. 4. emotional detachment, treating power dynamics as a game of chess rather than a personal affront. The danger of the total surrender, Law 15 and 18. Robert Greene warns against the half measures. Law 15, crush your enemy totally, is perhaps the most ruthless, suggesting that a flickering spark can start a fire. While this sounds extreme in a modern civilian context, it serves as a metaphor for thoroughness. If you solve a problem, solve it completely. Do not leave loose ends that will return to haunt you. Don't give your opponents any ammunition. Both the Stoics and Machiavelli would tell you that this is critical. Conversely, Law 18 warns against building fortresses. Isolation is dangerous. It cuts you off from the very information you need to stay powerful. A mature leader stays in the thick of things while maintaining a psychological distance. This includes those for whom he has a distaste. You must be accessible, but not vulnerable. Mastering the pose, Law 19 and 20. Law 19, know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Power requires a high level of social IQ, the ability to read the room and adjust your mask accordingly. Analyze your opponents to avoid the vengeful types. Some people are vengeful, insecure, or pathologically suspicious, making them dangerous if offended. By analyzing the motivations and temperaments of others, you can avoid being in fights that could escalate beyond your control. Finally, Law 20, do not commit to anyone, is the ultimate law of the independent spirit. By staying neutral, you become the person everyone woos. You become the master of the situation because you are the only one who hasn't picked a side, making you the swing vote in any power struggle. Conclusion: the burden of knowledge. As the Fab Four closes the book on chapter 20, the silence returns, but it is different now. It is the silence of people looking at their own lives through a new, sharper lens. Whether you find these laws predatory or pragmatic, they exist. To ignore them is to walk through a minefield without a detector. For the mature adult, the goal is not necessarily to become a manipulator, but to become unmanipulatable. By understanding the mechanics of how people are disarmed, used, and discarded, you gain the power to choose a different path, one where you are the architect of your own influence. Keywords to think about: strategic maneuvering, professional indispensability, scarcity, mindset, information intelligence, emotional sovereignty, social IQ, calculated absence, institutional power, relational dynamics, executive presence. Next steps: audit your dependence. Identify 3 areas where your superiors or peers rely on you uniquely. Practice silence. In your next meeting, try to speak last. Observe how much intelligence you gather before you even open your mouth. Review. Law 13. The next time you need a favor, find the specific way it benefits the other person before you ask. That's the second set of 10 laws. Laws 21 to 30. Next, when the time is right, visit the Wisdom of Jung Machiavelli, Buddha, and the Stoics channel. You will find masterclasses on personal development, emotional development, and staying empowered and in control. See you when we review laws 21 to 30. Remember to stay loving